approaching.
I have not done this in years, but I cannot take this bill for this plea. I'm not gonna do it. Your name? I wanna make sure I got this straight.
Yes, you are.
Domestic violence charge, item, in front of Judge Hess.
Correct.
Sentenced, no contact provision. Goes and ends up having a reasonable, has some kind of a discussion with the victim. Kicks the car door, damages the car. Sounded like a significant amount of damage. I tell you guys I won't take hiding. Then you come back with 771.1. And now you're going to have me take a plea to a municipal civil infraction.
Welcome back, everyone. Today, we've got a courtroom session that's equal parts confusion, frustration, and just plain shock. Right here, we have Destiny Dear Henry facing domestic violence charges, and from the start, you can feel the tension building. The judge is absolutely fed up with procedural games, while the prosecutor and defense are trying to navigate an incredibly messy situation involving prior pleas, probation concerns, and ongoing disputes. You're about to witness a case where the law, human emotion, and accountability collide, and it's messy, it's dramatic, and it's captivating. Stick with me because by the end, you'll see why this isn't your typical plea hearing.
I mean, I'm not blaming you. I'm just telling you, I'm not taking it. I will not take this unless there's a valid reason for it. What's the valid reason? Is she running for Congress? I mean, I'm dead serious about this. What
The whole nature of
she already pled to destruction of property. And then we go back to 771. And I can't even. I'm not even sure I'm able to. Yeah. What is going on?
Well, the prosecutor and his officer with the great pains and stakes to try to find the best appropriate one that they
Get the prosecutor and the lieutenant in here, please. My Lord. And the lieutenant.
Yes,
I just feel like sometimes, and I don't want to be the bearer of bad news on this one because I see it all the time. Where's the accountability of anything anymore? She violates a judge's no contact there. Guys, I got to see you both in here, Lieutenant, and you guys, can I have your names, please?
Good afternoon, Your Honor. May please call me here. I may have the city Woodhaven.
Lieutenant Toller, David.
Guys, what do you think? Does anybody have any clue what I'm thinking? I want to tell you.
Right here, you can see the judge visibly struggling with the layers of this case. She's frustrated that despite prior orders, no contact provisions, domestic violence pleas, and property damage, the accountability just isn't there. She even calls out the absurdity. How can the legal system expect anything to stick when repeated violations go unchecked? And notice how she insists on speaking with the prosecutor and lieutenant. This isn't just procedure, it's a plea for clarity and structure. Moments like this show us the human side of the judiciary. Judges want justice, not just paperwork.
I take this young lady's plea. I read the report. I'm aware of the fact that she pleads to HIDA under 7694A. I'm sorry. Yeah, it takes a HIDA plea, I should say, on the domestic. Goes in front of judges. He's ordered not to have contact. Has contact with the victim. Sounds like it was a mutual thing. He wasn't innocent in all this, but as you know, I don't order victims not to have contact. I have no authority to do that. They get into a dispute. She kicks his car. I take a plea under HIDA, unbeknownst to me at the time, that she just pled on a domestic in front of Judge Hessen for HIDA. I send it back saying I'm not taking HIDA. You send it back saying take it under 771. And now you guys are sending me a municipal civil infraction?
Your Honor, if I could speak to that, please.
I want to hear it. I got to tell you, I try not to get involved in what you guys do. I bite my tongue up here all the time on both sides. This is ridiculous. So yes, I'd love to hear it.
Your Honor, to begin with, I believe the court was concerned about accountability. The people believe that given the fact that she is on an active probation with Judge Coleman, there may or may not be some form of a violation of probation, not required to be triggered by a conviction, but simply the contact issue. The second feature that developed.
There is no conviction now if I take this plea. There's a
Correct.
conviction for nothing.
And there wouldn't need be at a violation of probation hearing. The contact is a violation of probation in and of itself. As in real time this matter was developing.
Now, let's break down what's happening legally. The prosecution explains why taking the plea here avoids creating a conviction for nothing, which could trigger a probation violation later. Essentially, they're trying to balance justice with practicality. The victim is non-responsive, there's a custody dispute ongoing, and the judge must navigate the fine line between respecting prior rulings and ensuring accountability. This VO is key because it shows how layered legal decisions are. It's never just about the charge, it's about the entire system, prior cases, and real people affected. And you can see the judge absorbing all of this, clearly wrestling with the complexity.
We tried to reach the victim again, so he has been hailed by the probation department and by us and has been non-responsive. These young people have an ongoing custody issue before the front of the court in the Third Circuit. This young lady, as I understand it, is well employed at a call center, I believe, and obviously the court has all the discretion to disagree with the people, but I believe that given the complexion of things as they develop, specifically with respect to the, what's the word I want? Inactivity or incuriosity of the victim in trying to shepherd this case, I believe that this was a reasonable outcome. Thank you, Judge.
And Your Honor, we obviously respect your concern for the violation of the first order, but as counsel stated, my thought process was similar. If Judge Hessen has an issue with it, she can be held accountable for that violation before that court, not be penalized here in a separate subsequent case.
Guys, I must be missing something. So because I say I can't take this under HIDA, and I'm not going to because it was a domestic dispute, and she just pled guilty to and been sentenced on a domestic dispute a month earlier. And then you guys sent in the 771, and now you want to tell me Judge Hessen can revoke, Judge Hessen can take steps on her case. Number one, I don't care what people do. I made that abundantly clear. I don't think we treat people better. Call center, great. Lawyers, doctors, dentists, priests.
Here's a moment that's part commentary, part moral lesson. The judge makes it very clear that justice isn't about who you are, what you do, or how much money you make. She explicitly rejects arguments that destiny's employment or professional connections should influence the outcome. It's a powerful reminder that in a courtroom, equality is not just a buzzword, it's a principle the judge holds dear. And the way she repeats justice and accountability really drives home her frustration that the system can sometimes let people slip through the cracks if you don't remain vigilant.
I don't think we treat anybody differently based on who they are, what they do, who they know, or how much money they make. And I've said that for 30 years and I believe it. So let's throw out the employment thing. Let's not talk about her employment. Let's talk about something called justice. Let's talk about something called justice. Let's talk about something that has to do with holding people accountable. Giving them breaks when they're deserved. And everybody deserves second chances. But not in this scenario. I find this to be, first of all, let's just call it the way it is. Judges are not really legally authorized to tell people that they're not going to do something that the prosecutors are off. This used to drive me crazy when I was a young judge. Still bothers me a lot. Because there's no justice being served here. I just want you to know that's my feeling. And when I'm done doing this, I'm going to take this plea. I'm going to take your plea, man. You're going to walk out of here with something that is 99.8% better than what they offered you 2-3 weeks ago when you pled to malicious destruction of property. And the only one that called it was me. Because it isn't right. It's not right. I don't care what anybody. You could line up 150 prosecutors, they could all agree with him. 8,000 defense lawyers, line them up, they could all agree with me. I'm still going to be the one to say this is wrong. It's just wrong. It's just wrong. The idea that Judge Hessen can or cannot do something or should or shouldn't do something is part of this agreement I find to be hogwash.
Now, things get truly emotional. The judge openly shares her personal frustration, explaining how this scenario would have driven her crazy even as a young judge. She emphasizes that sometimes the system fails, and she has to step in because it's simply wrong. Notice the repetition, "It's just wrong," a phrase that signals not just legal disagreement but moral outrage. This is the human element of the law. A judge is bound by statutes, but she's also interpreting fairness in real time. And for viewers, this is why you stay glued. It's rare to get this candid inside a courtroom.